Hey, how you guys doing? This is William Myers, Mantis Outdoors, and I was contacted by a company, and I'll put their link in the description below and probably somewhere around here as well. It's campingsurvival.com, and they sent me an email asking me if I wanted to review this kit that they're giving away. And automatically when they said giving it away, I was like, piqued my interest. So I clicked on the kit, and when the page opened up, I was just outstanded. Like, holy cow, look at all this stuff. It is a kit that is valued up to $300, and it's not just one thing, it's all these different kinds of things, and most of them are really cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the kit on video, and the kit itself is really extensive. It's stuff that is for long-term stuff, and even on their website they say that it's not about like surviving some plane crash or getting lost in the woods. It's knowing that you have the things to make it through, like a power outage or something like that, or a natural disaster where you're cut off from things for several days or what have you. So I really got into that, as well as I got a good attitude to have and things like that. So I agreed to do the video, and what I want to do is I want to take this kit and I want to go out on a 3-day trip, basically, with using nothing but the kit. Probably a knife on my side, but other than that, just the kit. So getting the kit, I found that it is, like I said, very extensive, and it's for not exactly like going out into the woods and surviving for 3 days. There's stuff there that's for like long-term stuff, like colloidal silver and things like that. Books, I'm not gonna lug books out into the woods. So what we're gonna do right now is, in preparation for that, we're going to go through the kit item by item, and we're going to separate that into things that I'm going to take, things that are for like maybe what I would call a 72-hour situation or something like that, and then things that are more long-term that are going to be left at home for the 3-day video. So let's get to that right now. Alright, so everything that you see here, including the bag itself, came with this kit. And like I said, this kit is valued at upward around $300. So I'm going to pull the stuff out of here one by one, just kind of go through it. And the left side is going to be stuff like for emergency situations, a kit video that I'm going to take out into the woods. And after we're all done, we'll kind of go through and see what it's lacking or what it has. And then anything that's more long-term, it'll just go over here. So right away, first off, it comes with a canteen. Now, good sign. The canteen itself is plastic, but as I just tapped and found out, it does have either aluminum or stainless steel cup. So that's awesome. That's good. Definitely been out in the woods with less. So I have a way to boil water already. So that makes the trip so much easier. This is like synthetic fur line, basically, so it kind of acts as an insulator. As far as like Nalgene, plastic Nalgene bottles and things like that, and plastic canteens, I really never understood the point of that. I mean, you can't boil in them, but you can chemically disinfect, but chemical disinfectant is not ideal in my opinion. Tastes nasty. Alright, let's keep going here. We have light sticks. That'll be going with me for sure. Emergency light sticks. I like these because they're 12-hour run time. We've all used light sticks before. We know that they're not going to last 12 hours. They kind of fall short of that. Or, sometimes they even go a little bit longer, to be honest with you. But I will definitely be using these. I like these for if I'm going to leave camp for any certain reason. I don't care what it is. I'll pop one of these, hang it high in my camp, and that way when I am gone from my camp, I can just turn, look. It's not like I get lost all the time in the woods or anything, but it is good, at night if I'm walking away from camp to go down to the creek or something like that to get water. On my way back, I don't get disoriented or anything. I have a high hanging light that I can see. It's like, okay, right there's camp right there. So these are definitely useful. As far as, using them in camp for like reading and things like that, nah, not really. Okay, we have the old school Mylar emergency blanket. So there's about 101 uses for these things, including fire tinder. I'll show that one day on video. So this is going to be shelter. So we got shelter, water, we have illumination. Okay. The only bad thing about this is you literally need a college degree in origami to get it back into this package, but I digress. Okay. Alright. So we got a live straw. So on the move, so we have a way to boil water, and then we have a way to drink water on the move. So, you know, we can carry this around our neck because it has a lanyard, or, you know, we can have it in a pocket or something like that on the move from a campsite. You know, if we're trying to effect self-rescue, we're going to be on the move. So, you know, from place to place, point A to point B, in between there, I can get a quick drink if I'm by a water source. I don't have to boil my water, things like that. So that's good to have. There's a string in here. I don't know what that's from. Okay, calories. Obviously, that's coming with me. These things, me and Chris.
What is this?
It's like emergency rations. The old dextrose or whatever, dextrix emergency rations. Me and Chris broke one of these open, and we were testing them out and tasting them and stuff like that. They're actually not that horrible. You know, it's the best tasting sawdust you've ever had in your life, basically. Kind of pick up the speed here. Oh boy, these are old school crank radio slash light. Yep, light. Uh-oh. So it looks like
you crank it more?
Yeah, you got to crank this thing for like a minute straight. So it looks like it was left on. So the battery that's actually inside here, it has like a lithium ion or something battery that's actually installed in this.
And there's some kind of...
Yeah, no. Okay, so you can put batteries, AA's in it, and then let me see here. You probably have a switch somewhere. Yeah, right here, a switch. So you can go from the generated battery to the batteries that are stored in here. So actually, it was clicked off of the generated battery. So yeah, the light does work. Everything works on it. It was clicked onto the battery, you know, storage battery, like the AA's. So if you can click between those two, and now you're running on the generator battery. And I bet if we
filled my tank up with diesel, I had to.
So, you know, a little bit of morale support. This thing's kind of heavy, but it is a light source, and right now,
so far that's about the only light source other than glow sticks.
Excluding the light sticks, this is the only light source I have. So hey, you know, I can use this for a light source. I can listen to the radio at night, whatever. On a 3-day trip, it might be nice to listen to you know, weather updates or something like that, or just listen to some music for a little while, you know. So it looks like right now everything's going into the keep pile. What is this? Came out of this box here. Oh, cool.
What is it?
It's okay. So yeah, it's playing cards. That's cool. But what's really cool about it is that it's like plant, almost like index cards, basically. That's really cool.
Huh.
I like that. That's really cool. That's cool. So, you know, not is it a source of entertainment for the cards. You know, I'll be alone, so I'll probably be just playing. Well, I would probably be just playing solitaire. But you know, as far as all the cards go, as far as plant identification and stuff like that, I probably don't need that. You know, not trying. All right, so I'll tell you what. Be honest with you. You know, it would be nice to maybe play solitaire in the woods or something like that, or some other kind of card game by myself. And, you know, if I didn't have the knowledge that I did have, it would be a great resource to have the wild edible, you know, cards and information for every plant that's listed. But to be honest with you, I just don't need this. So this is going to go on the long-term side. Anti-radiation tablets. Okay, so these are probably potassium iodine, right? There's probably more uses for these than just anti-radiation, but we're not going to go into all that. That's just going to go into the long-term side.
Yeah, I don't see you needing that in a 3-day trip.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet. Okay, so ASAP 365 Silver Gel, Ultimate Skin and Body Care, Cosmetic Skin Product, helps promote a natural healing. Okay, well,
Oh,
that's awesome. That's cool. Don't think I'll be needing that. Oh boy. Canned processed cheese.
I
So
didn't know they made cheese in a can.
yeah, they
Well,
do.
easy cheese.
So I've never had this before. I have seen people on YouTube do reviews on this stuff before. Okay, so that's just calories. Let's put that over there. We'll be using that. Again, everything's like tangled up in the string.
Wow, it's a big book.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. When I threw all this into the bag, I didn't even really look at anything. I just seen that there was a book there. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be packing that book. But the Survival Medicine Handbook.
That's definitely useful, but good lord, is that
More
thing
long
huge.
term, right? Not gonna be packing that. I see where all that string's coming from. Jeez, wow. Okay. It's one of those pocket fisherman things. See if we can't fix this real quick.
See, that's something that could be long-term or short-term, depending on where you're going.
Whether you want to pack it or not. I mean, I myself, you know, just for me, I would rather take this thing apart, take all the string out of it, and just use the string as fishing. Just pack a small fishing kit or something like that. But I'm just using the kit itself, so we'll just take it with us. Why not? I've never used one on camera or anything like that. I've used them before.
Evie.
See if we can't figure out
pretty
this
neat, though.
cluster. Yeah, they're okay. There's all kinds of different products like this out on the market, you know, and they all have their pluses and minuses and things like that. You know, the good thing about this one is it's pretty packable. Yeah, it comes with a little rubber thing that'll have to be replaced with a hook. But the good thing about this one is that, you know, it can just be kind of collapsed down like that.
How much does it weigh?
I don't know. I don't have a scale here, but probably half a pound maybe. So yeah, we'll take it with us. Why not?
And the loudest crows ever, just like, hey, let's watch a film.
Fish mox, amoxicillin, antibiotics. You know, amoxicillin for fish and stuff like that. The same amoxicillin that we take. Again, long term, let's throw that over there. Yeah, I seen this going in, the colloidal silver. You know, people take this. You gotta be careful with taking silver. You know, there's a really famous case of a guy that took so much silver that he actually turned blue. You know, this stuff is good for your immune system and things like that. But again, more long term. More thyroid blocking iodine tablets. Okay. You know, again,
Is that the type of iodine you could use for water purification? Or is that different?
I don't know. I've not gotten into that. You might have to crush it up, and I'd have to look at the specs of it, how much iodine is actually in it, and then crush it up. Only use half a tablet for 32 ounces or something like that. I would have to research that, and I've not done that research.
I think with the Life Straw anyway, it wouldn't be necessary.
No. Well, I mean, iodine is for more than just water purification. You know, it's for medical use and things like that. So, I could take high concentrations of iodine, like 2% tincture of iodine, and I could put it in like a 32-ounce can. I mean, high concentrations of iodine, and then heat that water up just a little bit, just like maybe where I can put my finger in it and it's still kind of room temperature, and then find a nice spot and pour that water into the ground. And anything that's in that ground is going to come right up to the surface, like worms, things like that. So I can use that for either bait or I can use it for food. But what we have here is white smoke candles. I've used these before in the past. This is definitely not a new product, but it is a pretty cool product. And all you have to do basically is open it up, sit it down on the ground or a stump or something like that, light the back end of it, and it just shoots up a lot of white smoke. It doesn't, it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to see from like 10,000 feet up in the air or anything like that. But if people are in the area, you know, low-hanging helicopters, things, low-flying helicopters, things like that, they're going to be able to see it. Probably not on a day like this today because we have a little bit of overcast. But you know, it has its uses for sure. And so signaling, absolutely, we'll take it with us. All right, so let's keep going here.
I feel like Santa's bag.
I know, right? All this cool stuff keeps coming out of
Mary Poppins.
All right.
What's in here?
This is a cool little thing. Actually, John McCann from I can't remember his website right offhand, but he showed me these.
Illuminade?
Yeah, like a couple of years ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, he had some of these and he was checking them out. And basically what it is like a big inflatable pillow, and you know, you can actually use it as that. You can blow this thing up and you can use it pretty much as a pillow if you wanted to. But what it does is this opaque material right here kind of acts as a reflector. So what this is a solar powered LED light. And you know, you just sit it in the sun during obviously the daytime when you're not using it, and then by nighttime it'll be charged up and ready to roll. So let's go ahead. So you can use it like this, turn it on, and it's like a big lamp. You know, but
cool.
Like I said, you know, it has all kinds of settings and stuff like that. Like I said, you know, you can use it like that, or you can use it as a pillow basically at night too. But let's go ahead and put that down. Alright, so let's dig in here some more. I've seen these a lot. United States surgical kits. You know, one of my things about this is if, you know, you got to pack something, if you don't know how to use it, you know, this is a surgical kit. This is everything that a trained professional needs to do minor surgery for, you know, with. That being said, there's a lot of useful tools in here, hemostats and things like that, scissors, more hemostats, more clamps. There's a pen, and that pen is also a flashlight. So that's more limited. This is actually a handheld flashlight, so that's more light. Okay.
Now, is that a pen or is that a knife? Because I've
pen.
seen them where they're.
No, it's
oh,
a
okay.
pen. I've seen these before. So I got something to write with if at all necessary. If I have to, maybe.
Is there a scalpel?
Yeah, there's a scalpel handle right here, so I'm saying that. Yep. There's going to be blades in here.
Scalpel blades in there.
Mm-hmm. So
That's
this is kind of a
scary.
This is kind of a it could stay, it could go thing. If I have to, maybe I could just tear this thing apart, bring only a couple things. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. The clamps can be used for sheltering, actually. You know, you can take the clamps out, the forceps or hemostats, whatever you want to call them, and you can use that to actually clamp your tarps and things like that together. So, you know, it's useful. As far as major surgery or minor surgery in the woods, if you don't know how to do it, why would you carry something like this? You know, and a lot of people are like, well, you know, if you run into a surgical doctor in the field and you happen to be shot, okay, you got probably enough chances to win the lottery 3 times, but okay. Moving on.
That reminds me of that movie, I think it was The Heat with Sandra Bullock. Like, she tries to do an emergency tracheotomy and almost makes the guy bleed out because she just saw it on TV. It's one of those things, just don't do it.
Alright, so more calories here.
Pulled
Got
pork.
pulled pork, canned pulled pork.
So you've got the pulled pork, cheese, and
yeah, we're gonna be
sawdust
living.
blocks.
This isn't a 3-day emergency, man. This is just camping. I mean, this is what it's basically turned into. It turned into me kind of salvaging and pulling apart this kit and like going and roughing it, and then it turned into me like just going camping again. But hey, it is what it is, right? And this is for making everything taste good.
Oh my God, that's so cute. It's so little.
Cute, little, okay. Yeah, we'll take it. Might as well. That pulled pork probably tastes like crap. And this kit comes with a strike force, a black strike force. And this is one of my favorite little ferro rod kits, basically, because it is a kit. You can throw Surefire and things like that in the back. And that's one thing that I don't see in here is Surefire.
Yet.
No, I'm down to the very, very bottom,
Oh.
so I know that there's not Surefire in here. But willing to bet that that's got alcohol pads in it. But all right, anyway, so this is definitely going with this. This is fire. So we got fire, water, shelter. And then, man, to be honest with you, I could just take fire, water, shelter, and that would just be a gnarly video right there. But you know, I kind of want to show off the kit, you know, things like that. I want to use the kit on camera, so you know, we'll take what we got. We might as well take the calories too. Okay, last thing I believe, and remember, this bag comes with this kit. I purposed this bag and just threw the whole kit in the bag that it comes with. So we have a germ kit. I've seen these before. I know what's in here, and I tell you, I'm probably going to be ripping this kit apart and taking some of it with me, maybe, so I can take out. I mean, these are these hazmat bags, and you can use these just like trash bags. And I think this kit comes with 2 of them. You know, so either that I could use this for, you know, waste or whatever, or I could use it as a improvised shelter that go along with that Mylar bag. You know, there's a lot of options that I can use here.
Water collection.
Yeah, you know, and I know that there's some things in here that I could probably take out, and I think I'll do that on another video. There's like CPR masks and things like that in here. Don't need that. Although it could it could possibly be used as a improvised funnel or something like that. There's, you know, hand sanitizer and things like
Dry
that.
surgical scrub brush.
Yeah. So that'll probably be taken out. I don't need a dry surgical scrub brush out for 3 days, things like that. But again, I know for a fact that there is 1 iodine prep pads and there are alcohol pads in here. So that's fire tender, or it's sanitizing material, but obviously the hand sanitizer. But this will probably be ripped up. I'm gonna do a separate video on just taking all this stuff out. So right now, we'll put it over there in the long term. And then, and then the bag itself. So I'm gonna carry everything in the bag. So this is the kit. This is what I'm gonna be taking with me for that 3-day. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this little video, just showing you guys this kit. It's a very, very, very extensive kit. Almost $300 worth of stuff that's laying on the ground right now, you know, and I just think that it's cool that they do this, and they don't just do it once. They do this is continuing, because when they sent me the kit, I was like, you guys want me to do a video on this? The giveaway is over, you know, it ends like September 1st or whatever, whenever it ended. They're like, oh, no, we do this every single month. So every single month on campingandsurvival.com, they give a kit just like this away, valued up to $300. And I thought that is very cool that a company does something like that. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just me kind of separating the kit down into short-term and long-term, can't talk. So hopefully you guys catch the next video. It's going to be me out in the woods using this for improvised shelter, fire, water, all that stuff that it comes in it, and you know, the calories that it comes in it and stuff like that. So all right, guys, so if you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Go to my website, MantisOutdoorsLLC.com. Visit the shop in there. Shop in the Amazon store. It helps me and the channel out, supports me and the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully we'll see you out in the woods. You know, not trying to toot my own horn, but I mean, you know, obviously somebody else, this would be a great resource for them, you know. Ooh, are you okay?
You okay?
Jeez, kids in the woods.
It's like over their feet.
Flying over, yeah. Did you get that?
Yeah.
That's going in the ounce, that's for sure.
Say hi, Evie.
You big nut. You big goofy. All right, cut. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would, please click subscribe down below. Clicking like, shares. I'll edit that in. 3, 2, 1.